So good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming today and hearing my presentation. Before I begin, I'd like to give recognition to Dr. Hackberg for his time and dedication to the program and to each individual. So if we could all just give a round of applause for Dr. Hackberg. So to begin my presentation, I interned at EKU Small Business Development Center, and I also interned with the City of Berea and the MACE program, or MACE. I'm a chemistry major, I'm a junior, and I'm part of cohort 13. So about cohort 13. So I'm one of Dr. Hackberg's 20 students in cohort 13. During the EPG Institute, we were put through many challenges that put us out of our comfort zone. In a teamwork environment, we were able to overcome many of those challenges. We were taught how to turn ideas into new ventures through the practice of engaging complexity, uncertainty, exploring ethical structures and values, facilitating group decisions, recognizing opportunities, and mobilizing resources, and advocating change. A sustainable business model. So one of the concepts that we learned at EPG was, what is a sustainable business model? I was able to understand what a sustainable business model looked like in a seasonal tourist community through the examples of Damascus and Abingdon, Virginia, the cities along the Hall of Fame Virginia Creeper Trail that serves as tourism destinations from a targeted market of 300 miles east of the community. Let's fast forward 10 months so now you understand a little bit of the training that I've had. And we jump to the second year, to the second part of this institute. So what is the second part of EPG? For the second part of the institute, I must apply what I've learned during the 8 weeks with Dr. Hackberg in a 10-week internship. I personally didn't want to do anything related to my major, which is chemistry. I have a passion for entrepreneurship, and I wanted to feed that hunger side over the summer. I really enjoy working with people, especially when it involves something that is new. Because being the son of two small business owners, I wanted an internship that would provide small business experience so that I could translate that to my family's business. Failing is not always failure. So originally I had my thoughts on traveling to the West Coast and interning at Berkeley to study problems within underprivileged communities, which most happen to be inhabited by minority groups. Being Hispanic, I thought, wow, I could use that. I could use what I've learned to help people like me. However, the internship fell through. I did not have the prerequisites to get in. It was a very competitive process. Time was against me, and I didn't have an internship. But I pivoted, and I found new air. It's weird. I've been pivoting my whole life without really knowing what the concept really meant until I got into EPG. My life started making a little bit more sense with learning these new terms. Luckily for me, Dr. Hackberg and I sat down one day and began to design an internship that would build on my entrepreneurial spirit, build on a sustainable business model by getting a deeper understanding. I would have to say, so I wanted to get a deeper understanding and create content that would help me develop skills and help others move forward. It was almost too perfect when we reached out to Jason Rainey, the Assistant Director of EKU Small Business Development Center, and he was willing to take me in as a special events coordinator. Not only would I be working with Jason, but I would also be working closely with Danny Isaacs, the Director of Economic Development, and Amy Williams, the Project Specialist at MACE who partners with local people to build the strengths of Kentucky and Central Appalachia. Kentucky Small Business Development Center provides unparalleled consulting and training services that help existing business owners and potential entrepreneurs succeed. These services include one-on-one management consultation, training workshops, market research, loan packaging help, assistance with financial projections, information needed to make informed business decisions. So my internship was right at home, which I consider Berea now, my home basically, because a lot of the stuff that's lot of the things that a lot of the growth that I've had in my life has been here in Berea. So I would have to say that Berea is definitely starting to grow on me. So my internship site was Richmond, Kentucky, and Berea, Kentucky. I'm uncertain of where to begin my internship. I started to apply what I learned in the summer of 2016 by starting off with the method of customer discovery. So talking to small business owners and just trying to sympathize with their problems. After all, being the son of two small business owners, I sort of had an idea of the stress level and responsibility of owning a business. At the same time as I was trying to find problems with similar patterns for small business owners, I was developing the ability to learn on the fly. By working with Danny Isaacs, I had to use a lot of context clues to understand where the conversation was going or what was expected of me. I assisted him in creating a portfolio that would be appealing to large corporations looking around this area to construct their new sites. So companies like Hitachi. So I'm working with small business owners as well as large corporations. And the large corporations this is like an example of what a large corporation that's looking to develop here in Berea. So one day I'm talking to small business owners, and the next day I'm talking to the representatives of Hitachi. And here's a picture of me and two representatives of the company who came down to visit Berea and its residents. And so what we did is we tried to make Berea as appealing as possible, as appealing as we could, by extracting its assets and just making them very noticeable. And what I mean by that is we dug up so much information through so many databases. For example, we looked for census on how many schools within 50-mile radius of Berea, what majors are offered, and what technical schools are around Berea that these type of companies can benefit from, by bringing these employees into their companies. So here's a picture of Danny Isaacs getting ready for a meeting with a large corporation. Opportunity recognition. Going back to small business owners, I became aware that their market was restricted to mainly tourists. So I wanted to expand their market by providing some type of platform that would allow them to reach out to a greater market. And what's interesting about this is, as I'm hearing their problems from small business owners, like how they're not able to reach out a much larger market, there was an entrepreneur who decided to come down to Lexington. And by him, and he's actually part of Shark Tank. I can't remember his name's John, something like that. I don't remember his last name. But anyways, he showed up to Lexington, and by him, I mean his team. And one day I called my brother, told him, hey brother, let's go to this workshop and see how it's done and how he does it. So we drove up there, and we show up, and he's telling all these group of adults, usually range 30 to 25 to 40, telling them I can make you $100,000 and I can make you a millionaire. And I guess I'm not at that point yet, but he basically said, I'm gonna teach you how to use Amazon. And so I'm thinking to myself, well, we could use Amazon for Berea and its market. If I could find somebody, we had to pay this entrepreneur like, I don't know, $10,000 or something like that, to have him and his team teach you about Amazon. So instead of paying those $10,000, I thought, well, I could maybe find somebody else that can teach Amazon at a much cheaper price. And so me and my brother, we came back to Berea, and I brought this idea to Danny Isaacs, the business developer, and Jason Rainey, the assistant developer or director of VKU. And I told him about this new concept, how to use Amazon and to increase the market for small business owners. And so I started researching, and I found somebody in Georgia who's doing this, and he charged us $500 to come down here. He was an Amazon specialist, and just kind of tell you everything he knows about Amazon, which would have been great for this small town of Berea and its employees. And so I wanted to expand their market by providing them a workshop about Amazon. Everyone knows how big Amazon's getting. If you need something, if you need something, Amazon is the way to go. There are other familiar platforms like Etsy and eBay, but for some reason Amazon has made this its way so facilitating to the sellers that it's expanding rapidly. So I created 10 workshops. Well, me and the other 3 partners, we created 10 workshops, 5 in the fall and 5 in the spring. So how has this internship related to my career goals? It's fed my ambitions for postgraduate opportunities by creating a better understanding of what it looks like to work as an individual contributor and innovator in a constructed work setting. And it's enhanced my creative problem skills. And it's provided the opportunity to learn and experience the small business environment. That's it. Thank you very much.